some of the key distance metrics when it comes to the PGA Tour. Average carry distance back in 2007, 15 plus years ago, 265.7. That's increased 17 yards now to 282.9. Clubhead speed has only jumped 2 miles an hour, not crazy, 2.2 in those 15 years. Number of golfers with 120 plus mile an hour clubhead speed was 9 in 2007, up to 22 now. Official data on the PGA Tour has been collected dating back to 2007. And it's now 3 guys on the desk as we welcome in our pal here, Jaime Diaz. Jaime, the day has come. We've been talking about this for quite some time. Your thoughts on the proposed model local rule?
You know, it's interesting how it's by opponents translated directly as bifurcation, but it is part of the rules of golf. It's not a separate set of rules. The local rule is in the rules of golf right now. So
does it feel like bifurcation?
No, well, it's obviously it's de facto bifurcation, but it's still playing by the same rules. Now, I don't want to, you know, it's semantics.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very skillful use of something that actually solves a problem, in my opinion, in terms of what Martin Slumbers, who I think gets the heart of it in terms of the elite game. This is about restoring skill. This is about restoring challenge at the very highest level and basically following history, as he said. And his role, he believes, is to follow history and present history in a modern way, and as a continuum. And I think the challenge that they're trying to restore is the one that we saw in the golden age of golf, so to speak. Not to say that we're not in a golden age right now, just to say that there were long irons in guys' hands coming into par fours. There were really tight fairways that were hard to hit with a spinny golf ball and a wooden club. And the game, as he said, with technology has gotten slightly easier. Now, can you start making it to the point where technology starts to compromise skill? And I think that's the balance they're trying to hit. I think it's an honorable balance. I think it's a good discussion. This is an endless topic. We've talked about it for 5 years, and we'll continue to. It's really a rich topic. But I think the USGA and the R&A have their heart in the right place. They're trying to improve the game. You can disagree, but I don't think they have an agenda beyond that.
And a quick follow, if you don't mind. Jaime, you look at the data shared, and for top hitter on the PGA Tour, I think it would be about 17 and 19-yard rollback. Mid hitter, I think it's like 15 yards. So if you work your way through a guy's bag, it's maybe a half a club to a club difference with the irons. Is that really restoring skill, or is it just proportionally shifting it back a little so we don't run out of real estate with some of these golf courses and properties?
I think that's a big part of it, but I think we all know that the razor's edge of incremental differences between players is so small that these things matter too. I mean, right now, there's a lot of wedges being hit into par fours. You roll it back 20 yards, and now you got 8 irons and 9 irons, perhaps. And that makes a difference, I think. I think pretty much everybody's pretty good with a wedge, or at least they're going to hit the green. Now, there's some that are artists, like Justin Thomas and Dustin Johnson made himself one. And that's an art, too, and that's skill, too. I'm not trying to say that a wedge is an easy shot. I'm just simply saying that through the bag, the game gets slightly more challenging. And I think that's good for the pro game. Now, I understand people want to see the long ball. I get it. And fans have to be followed. And golf has become more of an entertainment, and certainly with the infusion of LIV right now. You know, they don't want to differentiate themselves and look like they're going backwards, and LIV would, of course, would use that as an opportunity to say, oh, no, we're the progressive game with all the bells and whistles. So it's very delicate right now. But again, I go back to, I trust these guys for looking at the game as a whole in the future, healthy, and doing the best thing for it. And I think they're the group, the R&A and the USGA, that have the credibility to do that. I don't think they are trying to do anything else. I mean, they're taking shots. It's not like they're gaining power. I think they would lose credibility if they didn't try to do something.
It remains to be seen, I guess, if this is the result of a negotiation or the start of a negotiation, because this process really did start with a Distance Insights report 3 years ago. That was the first shot in this war. I'm inclined to think that while various bodies are making these statements about how we're going to work with them, we're going to continue with this feedback process, this war is over. I think this is going to happen. The question is whether or not the elite tours choose to adopt it. And that becomes a very delicate issue, because at the very least in 2026, I'm willing to bet that 3 of the 4 major championships will have a modified golf ball. The PGA Championship, potential outlier. They did put out a statement this morning saying they're happy that nothing is being done with a recreational game. As far as the PGA Championship goes, they'll address that down the road whenever more information becomes clear. But we could have this kind of break where the major championships are deemed to be the ultimate test of skill in this game. And then you have the PGA Tour, if it doesn't fall in line and adopt this, does it get diminished as merely an entertainment product? And those are tough decisions that various people and organisations are going to have to make going forward.
Well, they both have something to lose. I mean, if the PGA Tour and the tours in general don't follow the model local rule, that hurts the USGA, certainly. It makes them look like they have less authority. On the other hand, if they don't follow, they also look like outliers who are not doing things for the best interest of the game and looking like they're just profiteers. So I think that tug-of-war will be an interesting one. It hasn't been settled. I think there will be compromises. This 127 is a number. I think that's a negotiable number.
But ultimately, what this comes down to is, does this game bend its parameters to the commercial objectives to various organizations or companies who work within that game? You've got to separate at some point the product from the broader sport. And that's a hard definition to draw for a lot of people.
I see it as art versus commerce. You know, I'm sort of a romantic about the game, I guess, and maybe it's a weakness. But right now, commerce is very prominent in the game because of the challenge of LIV. And so it's an awkward time to be asking for something that's about aesthetics, actually. You know, what kind of game do you want to see? And, you know, I like the game that's all the clubs in the bag. Some people just like hit that driver as far as you can and spin that wedge in there. And that's okay, too. I don't know which is better. I have my preference, and I think the USGA has a preference that they think fosters skill.
It's kind of an odd position for the PGA Tour to be in because you look at the NFL, NBA, MLB, they're the organization, and they dictate what rules they play by. The PGA Tour has to try and play in the same sandbox as what the edicts are from the governing bodies with the R&A and the USGA. They don't have, to this point, they haven't broken away or have complete autonomy over how they're going to play compared to how USGA championships or R&A championships are contested.
They've always had the option to make their own rules. They've always deferred to the USGA and the R&A. They would rather those guys have that hard job.
And all of these statements we're seeing are people who are opposed to the idea of bifurcation. That's what they're hanging their hat on right now, is we want it to be bifurcated. If they suddenly choose to decide, well, we're not going to go down this road with you, that's kind of like saying, you know, I love your democracy as long as I like the results of the election. But we'll bifurcate from governance if we don't like them.
Let's get to another one of those statements. You had mentioned what the PGA of America had to share. Here it is in totality. As we previously stated to the USGA and the R&A, we are strongly opposed to any rule changes that make the game less fun for recreational golfers. Regarding this specific area of interest, we are pleased that there is no longer a focus on changing or modifying the ball or clubs that recreational players may use. We are not in favor of bifurcation and do not anticipate individual clubs implement such a model local rule as it is meant for elite players. In regards to the PGA Championship, 2026 still a long way off until we know the specifics of the proposed model local rule. We are not in a position to make that determination.